Louis, another win on home turf over Barnet this time. I mean, you must be pretty pleased with that.
That was an incredible effort from all the lads involved. To, compete with Barnet is one challenge in itself. They're at the top of the table, or near the top of the table for a reason. If you look at the changes in the team sheet from the start of the season, our starting 11 today changed around 50%, if not more. 2 or 3 new lads have come in this week and adapted to our principles. Harry Moss steps in for his first competitive game with Tiernan on international duty, and then just to cap it off, the gaffer wasn't able to make it into the stadium today due to illness, and that's where each and every individual today stood up to be counted for, and that's why we got the result we did.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously Rob couldn't be here today with the illness he's had over the last couple of days, but I imagine that might have perked him up a little bit.
I'm sure. Yeah, he was watching from home. He was in touch with Sweens and a few of the staff on the touchline. But also as well, one of his messages before the game is that he trusts the boys, he trusts the group, and we don't just turn up and things click for no reason on a Saturday in a match day. It comes from a lot of hard work from the boys, a lot of structure, detail, patterns, concepts, and ultimately the boys are completely bought behind everything that we asked them to do, and yeah, as a group they're second to none in terms of their commitment and togetherness to this cause, and I'm sure the gaffer will be really, really proud of each and every one of them. Yeah,
and I know you mentioned changes to the team sheet. Of course, Harry Moss being someone who came in for his first game with Tiernan, obviously on international duty, but made a few big saves, and obviously a clean sheet as a goalkeeper is what you get judged on as well, I suppose.
Yeah, he made more than a few good saves. He was exceptional. That 15, 20, 30 second period in the second half where the ball's pinball in our box and everyone's putting their body on the line, and Harry makes some key blocks in there. To give credit to Barnet, we got a little bit of luck because they've made some good contacts on the ball in and around our goal line. But when the game is like it is and you play against good competition and not everything's clean, that's when your concepts come in terms of, irregardless of the situation, we've got concepts that the boys need to stick to, in and out of possession, defending the box, counter-attacking, whatever it is, and the boys did that in the box, which ultimately tries to manage risks, tries to stack the odds in your favour, and you do that more times than not, you'll come out on the winning side, and that's what happened in the box. Harry was brave, he tried to make saves and contacts, he tried to take crosses whenever he could, and the boys around him are sticking to our game plan when we have emergency defending. And on another day, Barnet maybe score. Barnet would probably be disappointed they didn't score today, but all that luck was massively earned from minute 1 to 97 today, because the boys were exceptional in terms of, it wasn't the cleanest performance, but we dug in, we stuck to our concepts and how we wanted to play, and like going back to the point, Harry was a huge reason why we won the game, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned in terms of not the cleanest win maybe, but I think there was probably a spell in the second half where obviously Harry's made a couple of saves. I mean, I think there's 3-4 blocks where people are just throwing their bodies in front of it after that. Is that pleasing, I suppose, not only from your point of view as a teammate on the pitch at the time, but from a coaching standpoint as well, that lads are pretty much just launching themselves in front of it and doing everything they can to keep, at that point, what is obviously a clean sheet when they're 2 goals ahead as well?
Yeah, it's special. As a teammate, as a member of staff, watching players out there sacrifice themselves, and I'm a big believer that just doesn't just happen. That wasn't generic. That was players who take pride in representing this football club, playing the way that we want to do in and out of possession, and ultimately want to get this club successful. And what they showed in some spells was incredible. That small period was a reflection of, in my opinion, the mentality across the first half into half time, and then approaching the second half. We knew that the performance wasn't clean in the first half. Barnet were very aggressive on the press, go man for man, we knew that. It wasn't our cleanest in possession performance, but we, tried to entice the pressure still, tried to affect the space that ultimately Barnet left at the back line, because they are aggressive and have a high line and go man for man, and try and play on the second and third phase and then control the game higher up the pitch. And we did that and we hurt them, and that just shows the ruthless mentality and the buy-in that we got from the group in terms of they can go through that, shall we say, challenging period in the first 45 minutes, regroup at half-time, and to go out and show the performance we did in the second half, which just capitalised in that 30-second period of how much the boys love playing for this football club and how successful they want to be for this football club.
Yeah, and you mentioned in the preview in terms of having a target on your back with being top of the standings and obviously facing the team today who are intending to be there themselves come the end of the season. So how pleasing was that mentality side from the boys that after you kind of set them that gauntlet or challenge in the week that they've come out and delivered with a result in the performance today? Yeah,
it's hugely satisfying. It's a confidence boost that it's another big team that we've ultimately beat at home, kept a clean sheet, stuck to our principles. There's a lot of massive positives to take away. I must admit, I thought, Barnet caused us a lot of issues, and to be very respectful, they probably would reflect on their end product as maybe not being at the levels that they wanted to. So, as much as it was a really good performance, we've got to respect that Barnet did cause us a lot of issues. They were aggressive and on the front foot as we expected. The game was going to be expansive, and we knew that going into it, and what we tried to do was try and control it as much as possible with the ball, try to stop them at source, out of possession, but also we tried to organise the chaos that we were expecting, because transition is inevitable and you've got to try and manage it. And when you do that against one of the strongest teams in the league in Barnet, at home, when you've got that target on your back, that pressure, that just shows growth and evolution from everyone in the football club, and especially the boys out on the pitch. And we are going to win games of football in different manners this season. We're going to win games through our clean in-possession style. We're going to win games of football with our out-of-possession, aggressive counter-pressing, pressing style, win the ball and stopping teams at source. We're going to have to do it by coming over physical battles when the ball's been put into our box time and time again. And I think today was a combination of them all, but if not the most, it was a mentality win. It was a ruthless mentality of, we're going to step up to this challenge, we're going to ride the storm at times, we're going to stick to our principles, and we're going to put everything on the line for this football club, and that's why we got the 3 points.